What if I told you that there's a career where you can work from anywhere in the world, make $10,000 to $50,000 plus a month, and all you need is your laptop and an internet connection? No, this is not another get-rich-quick scheme. It's high-ticket remote sales. And in this short video, I'm going to break down exactly what it is, how it works, and whether this is the career change you've been looking for or not. First things first, I'm Julia. I've been in sales for around 3.5 years now, where I started originally in door-to-door sales selling solar, and then I converted over to remote high-ticket sales, where I joined a private closer club called 637 Group, and now I make consistently 5 figures a month closing on remote high-ticket offers. Okay, now since we're not strangers anymore, let's dive into the video. First, let's define what is high-ticket remote sales. High-ticket refers to products or services that cost anywhere from $2K to $50K plus, and we're talking about business coaching programs, online courses, consulting services, software solutions, any type of online education or info product that basically requires a significant investment. Remote sales means you're conducting these sales conversations entirely online through either Zooms or phone calls or video conferences. You're not meeting people in person at all, and you're not working from traditional offices. Here's what makes this different from regular sales. You're not trying to convince people to buy a $50 product on impulse. These are very strategic conversations with people who have already shown interest in solving their specific problem. Most of the time, they've either filled out an application, watched a webinar, downloaded some free content, or DM'd the coach that they wanted to learn from. In other words, these are all warm leads. Your role is to understand their situation, identify if the product or service can genuinely help them, and then guide them through making an informed decision. You're essentially a problem-solving consultant who happens to close deals. So let me walk you through how the industry actually works, because it's not what most people think. Most high-ticket sales teams have 2 main roles. There's your setters and your closers. Setters are the first point of contact. They qualify the leads, build initial interest, and book appointments. Closers are the ones who actually get on the sales calls and guide your prospects over the finish line. So essentially, as a setter, you're qualifying more leads, creating urgency to close them on hopping on a call with a closer, whereas the closer is the one actually selling the product or service. Here's how the typical process works. Someone sees an ad for a business coaching program. They click the link from the ad, watch a short video, maybe they download a free guide provided, and then they fill out an application if they're interested in whatever they just watched. A setter then reaches out, has a conversation to understand their goals and challenges and to overall make sure they're legit. And if they're serious, they book a consulting call with the closer. So there's ads, but they can also reach out from organic content that your creator or business posts. If you're watching this, you probably see this a ton on Instagram, where your favorite influencer will post a video and have a specific call to action. For example, DM me the word ecom for more information, or DM me the word ecom for my free guide. This is where either the creator or DM setters will enter and text the prospect and then get them on a call with a closer. Call times range, but usually a closer will get on a 45 to 60 minute call. They dig deep into their situation, present a solution, handle really any concerns, and then they onboard them into the program, where they then make their commission. What's crucial to understand is that these aren't cold calls to random people. You're speaking with pre-qualified prospects who have already raised their hand and said, I'm interested in this type of solution. Tell me more. This makes the conversations so much more natural and way more consultative rather than pushy or aggressive. To be honest, this was a game changer for me, coming from door to door, where nobody wanted to talk to me. They had no interest in what I was actually wanting to say, and they were all cold leads. And then jumping into a space where you only talk to people who want to talk to you and are already interested in what you have to offer. Now, what does it actually take to succeed in this field? First, you need to understand that this isn't about having some sort of magical gift of persuasion. The best closers aren't the smooth-talking manipulators. They're exceptional listeners and problem solvers. The core skill is asking the right questions. In other words, using question-based selling. You need to understand that it's not just what somebody wants, but why they want it, or what's been holding them back, and the overall consequences if they don't take action. You're essentially conducting a diagnostic conversation. It's the same thing as if you go to a doctor. They sit you down and they ask you serious questions about what's actually going on. What hurts, how long has it been hurting for, and any questions that will help their diagnostic. Then they prescribe you with the solution. Obviously, you feel better. It's the exact same thing, except you're the doctor in this situation. And the craziest part is you can make just as much, if not more, without 10 years of med school. Here's the psychology piece that most people miss. People don't buy products, they buy solutions to problems and transformations that they desire. So your job is to help them clearly see the gap between where they're at, where they want to be, and position your offer as the bridge. This requires genuine empathy, and you need to actually care about helping people achieve their goals. If you're just focused on commissions, your prospects are going to sense that immediately and you're going to struggle. In other words, you're going to have commission breath. The technical skills, however, are actually quite learnable. Following proven conversations, frameworks, handling objections confidently, and knowing how to guide someone to a decision without being pushy. Most successful companies should have detailed training systems and frameworks to follow for exactly this. But let's talk numbers, because this is probably what you're most curious about. Entry-level closers typically start making 3 to 8K per month. Experienced closers often make 15 to 30 plus K a month. And top performers actually tend to earn over $50,000 a month. But that does take time and skill development. Most closers work on commission structures, so typically anywhere from 5 to 15% of what they sell. So for example, if you close a $10,000 deal and earn 10% commission, that's $1,000. And if you close 20 deals in a month, that's 20K. The lifestyle benefits are very, very real. You can literally work from anywhere with reliable internet, and many closers often travel the world. You can work from home and you can choose your own schedule. You're typically working with prospects in your time zone, so it's really not likely you're taking calls at 3 a.m. unless you decide to drop everything and move to Bali, which in that case, yeah, for sure, the time zones are going to be a little complicated. But let's be realistic. This is not easy money. It does take months to develop the skill, and you're going to be facing rejection, and your income can be a little bit unpredictable when starting out because it's fully performance-based, which means if you don't close deals, you don't get paid. It also means that the harder you work, the more you get paid. So there's really no limit on how much you can make in remote high-ticket sales. The only person that can really give you that kind of guarantee is yourself. The people who succeed treat this like a professional career, not just a side hustle. They not only invest in training, but they practice their skills on a daily basis and understand that consistent effort over time is what builds expertise. I always kind of like to frame it like a sport. You should be practicing and refreshing your skills and consistently learning more in sales, just as if you were a pro athlete. So if this sounds interesting, here's how you actually get started. First, understand that most companies will not hire you without some sort of training background or experience. You have a few different paths. Option 1, you find a company that offers entry-level setter positions. This often is the easiest way in, and you're going to be learning the fundamentals while earning some income, and then potentially you move into closing. 2, invest in proper training. There are very legitimate programs that teach you the frameworks, provide role-playing practice, and sometimes they offer job placement. For example, our team at 637 not only helps train qualified candidates, but we also place them directly with proven 6 to 7 figure offers from vetted companies. Option 3, start with companies in industries you already understand. If you have a marketing background, then look at companies that sell marketing offers. If you're into fitness, find fitness coaching companies. Your existing knowledge gives you credibility. At 637, we actually work with offers across multiple industries, so we can often match people with opportunities that align with their background and interests. Here is what to look for in a good opportunity and in a good offer. 1, proven products with real customer success stories. 2, comprehensive training programs. 3, reasonable commission structures, 4, consistent lead generation, which means high following or they run consistent ads. And 5, companies that actually care about helping their customers succeed, not just making sales. So overall, if they have good fulfillment. Some red flags you should look out for is promising overnight success, companies with terrible online reviews, and unclear compensation structures. High-ticket remote sales can be an incredible career for the right person. It offers real income potential, location freedom, time freedom, and the satisfaction of helping other people achieve their goals. But it's not for everyone. It does require resilience and continuous learning and genuine care for helping others. So if you're someone who enjoys conversations and you can handle a little bit of rejection here and there, and you want to develop a valuable skill that can be used throughout life, it might be worth exploring. Overall, the industry definitely isn't going anywhere. If anything, it's growing as more businesses move online and more people seek out high-level solutions to their problems. So really take the time to research this kind of opportunity. Talk to people who are actually in this line of work and make sure any training or opportunity you consider is very legitimate. If this is done right, this could be the career change that completely transforms your life. So if high-tech remote sales sounds like something you'd be interested in exploring, then feel free to click the link in my bio or DM me the word closer on Instagram, and I'd be happy to hop on a call to see if this path actually makes sense for you and whether we can actually guide you in the right direction. That is all I have for you guys, and I hope you learned something today. I appreciate all of you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video where I'm actually going to be breaking down a closing call. So subscribe and stay tuned for the next video.